Welcome to another Revit session. Today we're going to learn how to create bespoke stairs. We're also going to create sections ready for exporting into Photoshop and Illustrator. So by the end of last time we should have ended up with the majority of our building constructed, including the walls, floors, and now we've created topography along with pads to create the roads and the paths. So one of the difficulties with this building is the stairs. We've created the simple straight stair and the spiral staircase, but we've got one which is it's a amalgamation of both of them. So it goes a straight stair and a curved. Now I'm going to show another way which might be easier than I've previously shown. So this time if we go to the basement floor plan and then we click stairs. So these are the components that we've generated the other stairs. What we're going to use is called Create Sketch, and this enables us to customize the run of a stair. So there's three elements to it. One which is the boundary, which are the strings of the boundary, and the next is the risers, so those are the steps, and then also which we've got to allocate where the run will in the direction it's going to be done. So first of all we do the boundary, so that's the string of the stairs. So if you select that, and these are the draw tools. So first of all draw a straight line on the adjacent wall and go up to the grid line and create another one just roughly, because make sure it's straight down as also, and then press escape another time or modify, and if you set a line we're going to change that to 1 meter. So the next thing is to do the curved element to the stairs, and we're going to select boundary and then select the curve tool, which is start end radius, so that's the one below the straight line. So if you select that tool, select the end of the stairs of that point and then select the opposite end, and if you drag it down it will snap automatically to create a circle. And then again we're just going to create a small circle here, so a semicircle. So we select that point there, make sure it's independent, so we click on that boundary, select that line and then create it up to 200, and it all should automatically snap to it, and again it should snap to 100 mil. So once you've created those, press escape a couple of times and you should be left with two independent lines with a curve, so big, sort of similar to a J. The next we're going to use the risers. So first of all we're going to select the riser tool and we're just using the straight line. So we're going to just do the curved element, so the spiral element. So we draw a line there and the line where we start in it, and then we half it, so we just pick the point, and if you hover around and then select sort of halfway through, it doesn't have to be exact, and press escape just to get out of the chain mode, and again on the other side, so and press escape a couple of times and then you should have 4 segments. Next part is to create the risers going all the way up, and rather than drawing independently and changing the dimensions we're going to use the offset tool. So if you go hover around, click offset, and then at the top where it says the dimension we change that to 250. Now if you hover around it, and the dashed line means that's where the line's going to be, so if you hover around it that's the dashed line, and then press and left click to select. Now things you've got to be careful of is not to over put it in the right direction, so it should be just slightly above that line. If you go below it you can see it says these two are overlap and it won't create it. So if I select that line now and delete it, it should override that. So we go to riser, offset, and making sure it's just slightly above that line, and then you can multiple. If you do overlap them, make sure you delete them, otherwise it won't create the stair. So again, offset, just be careful, take your time and create. At the bottom here it tells you how many you need. 1, 2, 3 more, 1, 2, 3. Now we just have to connect the bottom two, the risers, by dragging them back, selecting those lines. Next, and the last element, is to create the stair path. So if you select stairs path, again go back to the end start end curve, and if you hover around line, pick up the center midpoint, and again on that midpoint, the end, and should just snap to it, and then draw a straight line, making sure it connects with that stair path line, and then drag it all the way up. Press escape a couple of times. Once you've got a configuration similar to this, click OK, and it should create a stair. Now the arrow dictates that's the end of the stair, so that's the top of the flight. Now the stair ends at here. To flip it around, if you select it and then select flick, the arrow switches the opposite way. So if we click OK now, you should have created a stair, and because you know the lining convention, the dashed line is going in that direction. So what I'm going to show you now is just to check that that's correct. If you just, at the top there's a little shortcut to creating section lines. So if you hover around there, create a section, and if you left click and then you left click down, and then if you select it, there should be a automatic view in the project browser, and you can see that that bottom kit goes all the way up. So that's how to create a bespoke stair, a bit simpler than the previously shown. Next thing I'm going to do is how to create a section. So I'll just delete that section. What we're going to do is create a section through the stairs. Now once you create one stairs, what you want to do is copy it all the way up. So I'm just going to create a section all the way through. So I'm just going to do it through grid line 3. Select it. Again, it's created an automatic view in there. If you double click on it, that's what you get. So at the moment the stairs are only goes from ground to first. Now there's a quick way, rather than drawing it up again, you can copy and paste it so it goes up to the next floor. Now if you select that stair and then press Ctrl C on your keyboard together, and then to paste it up, if you go to modify and then select copy to clipboard, the little tab down here, you can align it to a level. So align it to selected level, and this time we select ground floor. Click OK. It creates a floor all the way up. Now if I drag that stair out slightly, if I go back to the plan and just drag the section line out, you get more of the stairs. So if we just go back to the plan, and then rather than keep it on that grid line, we're just going to drag it out slightly, then go to the view by double clicking it, and then we have a sort of a rough section. So what we're going to do is, first of all, is make it a bit more presentable before we export it. So first of all, we want to switch off the grid lines and then switch off the levels. So to do that, we use visibility graphics. So if we go to visibility graphics, select edit under visibility graphics, and these fall under annotation categories. So click annotation categories, and if you scroll on down, we're going to switch off the levels, we're going to switch off the grids, we're also going to switch off the DWGs. So if we go to imported categories, we can just switch off those DWGs, those plans that we imported previously. Click OK, and then it all disappears. So what I want you first of all is, as you can see where we've cut into the ground, there's elements are missing. So first of all, we're going to change it so we just got like a black and white image, and to do that we go to the bottom coarse level, we change that to medium level. Now it hasn't blocked out everything, so what we're going to use now is field regions. So if we go similar to what we did previously on the creating the plan, we go to annotation, and then we go by region, field regions, and then field regions, and then we can use a solid black colour, and we use a thin line, and we just draw roughly where we might just want to raise it up slightly where the floor is. So the topography is a bit of a guidance for you, and then where it cuts into it, and as it comes out. So ground's just roughly, and we have to do a complete shape. So by completing it, and we can oversail the crop region. So once it's a complete shape, I'm just going to move that so it lines with the internal face. Click OK. So now we've got a complete shape of the sorry, we just filled in the ground level. We're also going to fill in where the stairs are. So again, we go to field regions, click on thin line, do the rectangle, and we just block those in. So it lines that up, and just where it oversails the floor and where it oversails the wall, click OK. So that's a very basic floor plan, section, ready for export. So we're going to export it. First of all, we go File, Export. We go File, Print. Now you should either have PDF Writer or Dolby, doesn't matter. Make sure it says visible. Print range is by current view, and if you go to preview, you should see a preview of the section. Once you're happy with that, we go to print, so File, Print, click OK. It should come up, and you create one which is black and white. The next one is to create a version with the shadows. So this time we just go to the bottom right here, click on shadows, and at the moment it's coming quite coarse at the top right. So we're going to change the settings. So if we click on the visual style, and at the top it says graphic display mode, which is the same as here. And first of all, we're going to change the direction. So if we go to lightings, expand on lightings, and then in session lighting, we're going to change that one to make sure it comes to the top left. You click apply, and it comes out in that direction. Click OK, and then we're just going to change that to the shadows to, rather than 50%, change that to 20, so it's a bit lighter. Click apply, and I'm going to leave it like that. So now it's ready for exporting. So we go File, Export, we go File, Printing, and again current view, preview. Once you're happy at the top, you can just say print, print, and I've just called one section shadow. Yes. So that concludes the Revit session.